In my past life, I chose Grayson as my husband, and my father poured hundreds of millions into helping him clean up his mess. After marriage, however, he refused to share a bed with me. He said, "I'm not in the right state, I don't want to hurt you. Let's wait a little longer." It wasn't until Chloe's wedding that he brought a woman home and got intimate with her, right when I caught them red-handed. On a stormy night, I ran to the riverbank in sorrow and accidentally fell into the water. Given a second chance at life, I won't marry him again, nor will I be his lapdog. Olivia, as long as you like him, Dad will make him marry you. Hearing this, I shuddered and immediately denied it. I don't like him. Facing Dad's puzzled gaze, I directly had the secretary dismiss Grayson's father, who was waiting in the conference room. My phone suddenly rang. It was Grayson calling. My heart trembled, and I didn't want to answer. The other party clearly had no patience. After hanging up, they sent one accusatory message after another. "Olivia, is your dad out of his mind? My dad waited at your dad's company for so long, and he wasn't allowed to see him? What's the meaning of this? Looking down on my family, is that it? Absolutely ridiculous, I don't even think much of you. If you want to marry me, tell your dad to cough up $100 million just to test the waters first. You hear me, you lapdog? Say something." I gripped my phone tightly, my heart aching. In my past life, I had been unbelievably foolish. Grayson had never liked me, yet I'd been so eager to play the sycophant. With just a wave of his hand, I'd run out at 2 a.m. to buy him midnight snacks. When Grayson's family business faced bankruptcy, I begged my father for help. Dad was shrewd, he immediately saw through my girlish infatuation. Yet he still provided a massive sum to rescue the Grayson family. Grayson shed his usual harsh demeanor and became gentle with me. He said he couldn't wait to marry me, and I believed him. We married without even an engagement, it all seemed so natural. Yet after the wedding, he claimed work exhaustion to avoid sharing our marital bed. But when he saved the company from the brink of bankruptcy and was no longer swamped with work, he still showed no intimacy toward me. Swallowing my pride, I took the initiative to throw myself into his arms. Yet all I got was being shoved violently to the ground. Grayson helped me up with a pained expression, saying he didn't mean it, it was just a reflexive reaction. He was so gentle, his eyes brimming with guilt. "I'm not in a good state right now. I don't want to hurt you. Let's wait a little longer. Please give me time so we can create beautiful memories together." His words made me blush with embarrassment. And so, I continued waiting for the day we would truly become husband and wife. Who would have thought that what I'd get was him bringing women home for intimate moments? Right in the master bedroom. I burst through the door, and the woman ran away in fright. Grayson remained unruffled, lying there unmoved. His face was full of mockery. "What's the matter? Is that any way to chase people off? Should we continue then?" Tears streamed down my face. "Grayson! You bastard! You shameless jerk!" Grayson snorted with laughter, lighting a cigarette and taking a drag. Through the swirling smoke, I heard him say, "Let me practice a bit more, I promise I'll satisfy the young lady properly. I can't believe it, where has that husband of mine gone, the one who used to treat me with such respect?" After a series of rapid questions, he slowly uttered a few words. "She got married." "Chloe got married, so he's heartbroken? She got married, so he's no longer staying faithful? Then what am I?" He stood up impatiently and made a move to embrace me. Fine, come on then. Let's continue." On that stormy night, I ran outside. The moment I drowned, I deeply regretted wasting this lifetime on him. Fortunately, reborn into a new life, I won't choose to marry him again. Nor will I fawn over him like a lapdog. I blocked Grayson's number. The next second, a text from an unknown number popped up. "Olivia, playing hard to get won't work on me. I still prefer you fawning over me like a lapdog, heh." My hands trembled as I blocked the number again, struggling to steady my breathing. The moment I met my dad's gaze, tears spilled uncontrollably from my eyes. I buried myself in Dad's arms. Dad, am I really so pathetic? Falling for such a scumbag. Dad stroked my hair. Silly girl, don't punish yourself for someone else's mistakes. I took a deep breath and said, thank you, Dad. While Dad was busy with work, I went to watch a movie with my best friend Natalie. It was a VIP theater with massage leather sofas, just the two of us. The movie had already been playing for 20 minutes when someone walked in and headed straight for the back row. I was focused on the film and didn't pay much attention. Then, unexpectedly, some indescribable sounds came from behind us. Natalie, known for her short temper, flipped on her phone's flashlight and shone it toward the source. Well, if it isn't Grayson. What brings you here? Can't afford a hotel room? I happened to turn my head and unexpectedly saw Chloe with flushed cheeks, disheveled hair, and her collar wide open. Grayson had lipstick smeared at the corner of his mouth, his eyes gleaming. He stood up to shield Chloe, then slapped Natalie's phone out of her hand. Natalie, what the hell are you taking pictures of? Without direct light, he saw me. Then he teased, Olivia's here, you just won't give up on me, will you? Better get your dad to apologize to mine soon, or I won't be coming to your birthday party. Chloe, having straightened her clothes, leaned in and said, if you don't go, Olivia will be crying her eyes out. Grayson, we have to go. I clenched my fists, forcing myself not to lose my composure from sheer agitation. It's really hard for someone who cries easily to hold back. I didn't invite you. Grayson froze for a moment, then laughed even louder. Don't worry, I'll definitely come to support you when the time comes. He wrapped his arm around Chloe as they walked out, kissing passionately with loud smacking sounds along the way. At the moment of turning around, Grayson looked back and declared loudly, after all, I am your master, I ought to keep an eye on you to prevent you from biting people. I noticed my face was wet and grabbed my phone to throw at him. Missed. That bastard even stuck his head out teasingly, gloating like an idiot. I'm absolutely certain, I detest him to the core. How could I have been so foolish to like him before? I spent the whole night replaying everything in my mind, and only when I lay in bed did I gradually find the answer. We both attended the same elite private school. Grayson enjoyed teasing me, and I naively thought it was his way of showing affection. He had a sharp tongue and loved to say ambiguous things. I believed I was special to him, but in reality, he simply despised me. His so-called affection was just like what I witnessed today. Physical contact and kisses with Chloe, standing in front of her to block the view. After figuring all this out, another question remained. I couldn't understand why he loathed me so much. But dwelling on it was pointless, and I finally fell into a deep sleep. In the middle of sleep, my phone buzzed loudly. Groggily, I answered, hello? Olivia, go buy overnight absorbent pants for me. Get the expensive ones. I instinctively let out a hum of acknowledgement. Good dog. Fully conscious now, I felt a wave of nausea and turned off the device. Sleep had completely abandoned me. It occurred to me that Grayson likely remained unaware of the predicament his family was facing, like an autumn grasshopper that won't be jumping much longer. On the day of the birthday banquet, I wore an exquisite evening gown. I'd already instructed the staff not to admit Grayson. Because on this very day in my past life, Grayson confessed his love to me in front of everyone. We immediately became engaged. The more I wished not to see him, the more he entered. My best friend Natalie was so angry she wanted to kick him out. I stopped her. I knew Grayson well, offend him, and he would always seek revenge. I didn't want Natalie to become his target. Grayson and Chloe, a perfect match in both talent and looks, wore coordinated outfits in the same color scheme. They greeted everyone with effortless ease. Turning to face me, Chloe took out a small gift box and opened it. She handed me the perfume. The cheap scent instantly wafted through the air, causing people around us to instinctively step back. Olivia, I know you don't lack designer perfumes, so I bought this one for you, it really suits you. I didn't take it. As she leaned closer to offer it again, I swatted the perfume away with my hand. It shattered on the ground, releasing an overpowering stench. Someone shrieked, "Oh my God, who just took a dump in public?" Natalie chimed in, "Chloe messed up." Grayson roared, "Shut up. You're the one who messed up." Chloe nestled in his arms and said pitifully, "My arm hurts so much." Grayson first lowered his head to kiss her, then coaxed, "No pain, no pain, hubby will blow on it to make it better." Then, he flew into a rage at me. "Olivia. Chloe kindly brought you a gift, and what do you do? Who deliberately smashes a gift like that?" Chloe cooed sweetly, "Grayson, it's Olivia's birthday today. Don't speak to her like that." Grayson said in a tone of exasperation, "You're just too kind-hearted. You even prepared a gift for her. Look, I didn't get her anything, and she's still happily grinning from ear to ear." "Is that so, Olivia? As long as your master is here, you're happy, right?" I mustered my courage, staring straight into his eyes as I enunciated each word clearly, "You're finished." Grayson scoffed dismissively, "How am I finished? Are you going to bite me now? Come on then, come on. The lapdog finally grows teeth, go ahead, bite me right here." The spot he was pointing at made one burn with shame. Unexpectedly, an angry shout came from nearby. "Grayson! Is that any way to speak to Olivia?" It was Grayson's father Harold approaching. Harold grabbed Grayson by the ear, "Look at your disgraceful behavior, just like your mother." Grayson broke free, "Dad, what are you doing? We're in public, you need to save face for me. Otherwise, don't blame me if I don't save face for you and embarrass you instead." Harold gnashed his teeth in anger, "You little brat, shut your mouth." He then walked over to me respectfully and bowed in apology. "I'm sorry, Olivia. Grayson has no manners and lacks sense. I apologize on his behalf." Watching my former father-in-law grovel before me is equally nauseating. In my past life, Grayson brought women home. I had told my in-laws, hoping they would help me. But they were utterly heartless, insinuating that I was incompetent. A woman must stand on her own feet, relying on us won't do. Don't call us again in the future, disturbing an old couple's rest, how shameless. When they used my father's money to save their company, why didn't they say I was incompetent then? The memory only fueled my anger. What good is your apology? Go slap your son if you really want to make it up to me. Grayson heard this and was about to charge over to confront me. Who do you think you're ordering around? Hitting me? I dare you to try, no, I double dare you. My bodyguards held him back. Harold looked torn as he leaned in and whispered, "Olivia, you're humiliating Grayson like this. He'll never like you after today. If you like him so much, why don't you just forgive him? How about I make him marry you?" I froze. How was this different from my previous life? In my past life, it was because I begged my father, who then met Harold, that led to the birthday banquet confession and the official announcement of our wedding date. But in this lifetime, my father never met Harold. Nor did he offer any assistance to his family. Besides, Harold's family situation wasn't desperate enough to sell off their son yet. What's Harold's game then? Could it be, the timeline of his family's bankruptcy has accelerated? That would be wonderful. I couldn't help but curl the corners of my mouth upward. To Harold, this meant I had agreed. He immediately made a decision. "Quiet down, everyone. I have some good news to announce." He grabbed Grayson with one hand and tried to take my hand with the other, but I dodged it. "My son Grayson is going to marry Olivia. You all must come to the wedding banquet." Grayson shook off his father's hand. "Dad. What are you talking about? I've told you already, I'm marrying Chloe. Your old eyes must be playing tricks on you." So, Grayson had already announced his plans to marry Chloe. "In this life, I wish you both a happy family." Smiling, I said, "Congratulations to you and Chloe." Harold wanted to say more, but it was futile. After the bodyguards escorted him out, Grayson and Chloe, lovingly arm in arm, invited everyone to their wedding banquet before leaving as well. The birthday celebration continued, filled with singing and dancing, utterly joyous. This time, I had completely escaped the whirlpool of marriage. To everyone's surprise, Grayson and Chloe's engagement banquet never happened. Grayson appeared before me dressed in a white suit. I was playing tennis on the court, sweat from the exercise rolling down my cheeks. Grayson was actually stunned. At this moment, he had to admit, Olivia was really beautiful, far more so than Chloe. Ugh. His Chloe was still better. But today, he had stood her up at their engagement banquet. He'd just have to explain it to her when he got back. Ahem, Olivia, let's get married. His awkward tone and uncomfortable expression were truly laughable. I burst into loud laughter. Grayson asked angrily, "What are you laughing at?" "Laughing at your shameless audacity, thinking you can push your luck. Such an entitled man with no sense of decency." Grayson grew furious, veins bulging on his neck. Suddenly, he deflated like a punctured toad, his face a mix of grievance and embarrassment. "Could you stop talking to me like that? I came here to propose to you. I refuse." After saying this, I continued playing tennis. He moved closer again. "You like me, so let's get married." "Why refuse?" I blinked my confused eyes, "But I don't like you." Grayson's expression was a sight to behold, complex and tinged with loss. "How could that be?" "Stop joking, everyone knows you have feelings for me." Growing more confident with each word, he continued, "This is ridiculous. Otherwise, why would you have the nickname Lapdog? Marrying you is a favor, an immense honor, so stop pretending, alright? If I change my mind, you'll be the one crying." I swung my tennis racket at him. The whooshing wind barely grazed his ear, sending strands of his hair flying. Grayson recoiled in fear, stepping back several paces. "Are you insane?" Talking to him was truly a waste of time. "Get lost." I raised the tennis racket and swung it hard at him, hitting him so hard he grimaced in pain. "You shrew. Any man who marries you is doomed. You harpy. Let me tell you the truth, today is my engagement party with Chloe. I only came here to spite you." It seems he was sent here by his father. Unfortunately, Grayson lacks that foresight and awareness. He merely sees this as a minor crisis, just a temporary cash flow problem. No matter, we'll just sit back and watch the show unfold. Grayson and Chloe's engagement was completely called off. Having failed to settle matters with me, Grayson returned home to face severe reprimands. "Dad, I don't understand. Why must I marry Olivia? What's so great about her?" Harold flew into a rage and slapped him across the face. "You understand nothing. Her father is loaded. She's our family's only hope now." Grayson still didn't get it. "What's the big deal, Dad? It's just a minor hiccup. Why do we need to beg anyone for help?" You ungrateful fool, you're truly clueless. If you don't marry Olivia, our family is finished, bankrupt. We'll be buried under mountains of debt, late fees, and penalties, hundreds of millions. We could give our lives and still never pay it back." Harold was furious at his son's incompetence and laid it all out. "Right now, we're toxic, no one wants to touch us. Thankfully, Olivia likes you. There's still hope, a chance for us to rise from the ashes." Grayson couldn't believe it. Was his kingdom about to collapse? It wasn't until he saw the evidence that he finally accepted the dire situation his family now faced. With inexplicable confidence, he declared, "Don't worry, leave this matter to me." But as soon as he finished speaking, he recalled what had happened on the tennis court and felt a twinge of guilt. "My son. Olivia has liked you since childhood, you absolutely have this in the bag. Our entire family is counting on you now." Grayson's moment of hesitation vanished completely at that moment. "Deal. Dad, you have to promise me one thing, when I divorce Olivia and marry Chloe, you can't stop me or freeze my bank cards." Harold agreed immediately. "Son, as long as we get through this crisis, you can do whatever you want. You'll be our family's savior, the whole clan will owe you gratitude." Grayson was already fantasizing about the older generation treating him with newfound respect. Sweet. So damn sweet. I never expected to run into Grayson while shopping at the mall. Clearly, he came prepared. Dressed in tailored slacks, a crisp shirt, and a bow tie, he knelt on one knee before me, holding a bouquet of fiery red roses. Already handsome by nature, his meticulous grooming naturally drew quite a crowd of onlookers. "Olivia, I love you. Marry me," Grayson spoke with utmost sincerity and deep emotion. I narrowed my eyes at him. In my past life, he had fooled me just like this, right up until Chloe's wedding, when his true colors finally showed. I had just taken the bouquet of roses from him when he eagerly started to rise. "Did I say you could stand up?" Grayson froze, then lowered his raised knee back to the ground. With a self-deprecating laugh, he muttered, "Fine. You're my wife, after all. I'll listen to you." I examined the flowers meticulously, deliberately dragging out the moment. Though impatient, he forced himself to maintain a pleasant facade, gritting his teeth in frustration. "Ready yet, darling? My legs are going numb." I gasped in mock concern. "Oh no. Legs numb? How heartbreaking. Well then, switch to your other knee and keep going." Grayson finally realized I was messing with him and sprang up instantly. With an appeasing chuckle, he coaxed, "Olivia, there are people around, let's say the kneeling for home, HM? I'll kneel however you want there, even on the bed if you'd like, deal?" He wore a mischievous grin, his eyes brimming with schemes. I stared straight at him and threw the rose in my hand onto the ground. The petals scattered. Grayson stepped closer, growling, "What do you mean by that?" I recoiled in disgust, taking several steps back. "You're filthy, stay away from me." Natalie and I walked away, leaving him alone to face the crowd stares. My public rejection of Grayson was caught on camera by a passerby. It was posted online and went viral. The video title actually included the words "deep affection." Let me see just how deep this affection was. The beginning part with my personal experience wasn't worth watching, so I skipped to the end. There was Grayson looking utterly dejected, actually hanging his head and asking why. "Why won't you accept me? Have you been deceiving me all these years?" His red-rimmed eyes and overwhelming air of fragility made many people say they wanted to take advantage of him. All I could think was how fake Grayson was being. Who was he trying to impress with this fake display of devotion? Some people expressed disbelief. "This is obviously fake, it's not real, they must be filming a short drama." The discussion came to an abrupt end, the video was deleted. My dad's PR work is really impressive. Natalie and I spent our time eating and drinking everywhere. She said I used to revolve around Grayson, but now that I'm finally focusing on her, we had to make the most of it. We went to a bar and ordered some handsome guys. One poured drinks, another gave shoulder massages, pure bliss. Once I stopped orbiting around Grayson, I realized how much more exciting other men could be. Suddenly sensing the force was off, I turned my head in confusion, only to see Grayson's face. Startled, I immediately threw a punch straight to his abdomen. Frowning, he called my name softly, "Olivia. Can we talk properly?" Stepping out of the bar, the world suddenly became much quieter. Grayson rubbed his hands together. "I genuinely want to marry you." He seemed far more sincere now. That gentle, earnest tone of his made me falter for just a moment. In my previous life after marriage, before Chloe got married, he used to speak to me with such gentleness. What was once an obsession for me has now turned into utter disgust. "I don't want to marry you. Could you please stop clinging to me like a piece of sticky plaster?" After I finished speaking coldly, he looked at me with hurt in his eyes. His lips trembled as he said, "Do you know? In our past life, we were married and very happy." Those words were truly terrifying. I couldn't help but wonder, had he been reborn too? He continued, "It's just that when we were boating together, you had an accident and fell into the water." I was so heartbroken. As Grayson spoke, did he actually manage to move himself to tears? "I didn't want to live alone, so I followed you down the road to the underworld. I didn't believe a single word of it. How could I not know what happened in my past life? I turned to leave. He stopped me, urgently pleading, "Olivia. I've been reborn, I love you, I want to marry you and make you my wife." To prove it, he revealed some of my secrets. I was stunned. So he had been reborn too. Did he only realize he loved me because I died? At that moment, Chloe approached in a white dress. "Grayson, let's go. Miss Olivia clearly looks down on small families like ours." Grayson shoved Chloe aside. "Get lost. You have no right to speak here. Grayson kidnapped me. He shoved me into the car and took me to a hotel. I couldn't break free and was thrown onto the bed. He pressed down on me, his breath dangerously close. You know what? I've missed you so much, so terribly much." His face buried into the crook of my neck. "It's all my fault for not cherishing you, for making you turn cold. You can't imagine how my heart shattered when I saw you lying motionless by the riverbank. The pain was suffocating. Thank God I got a second chance. You're still here, you're still with me." I felt tears trickling down my neck. He murmured to himself, pouring out his affection. Suddenly, he began kissing me feverishly. "In our past life, we had no children together. In this life, let's have one. A girl, so I can raise you all over again." Grayson was incredibly strong, I couldn't push him away no matter how hard I tried. As my clothes tore, despair washed over me. He was exhilarated. He kept apologizing between breaths, "Don't blame me, don't blame me. I never wanted to treat you this way. It's you who refused to marry me. This was my only way. I'll treat you well, love you for a lifetime." Tears streamed down my face as my chest exploded with suffocating pain. Cough cough, cough cough. Grayson anxiously patted my back to help me breathe, yet persisted with his actions. What I'd most longed for in my past life was now being fulfilled under such circumstances. How bitterly ironic. In that brief moment, I'd made up my mind. I wouldn't punish myself for his mistake. I'd just treat it like a dog bite. Suddenly, the door was kicked open. Natalie immediately rushed in and tightly embraced me. "Don't be afraid anymore, don't be afraid," she whispered. "Grayson was taken to the police station and will be punished according to the law. I narrowly escaped disaster because my father had secretly installed a tracker in the jewelry he gave me. He explained it was out of concern for my safety. But this was too much of a coincidence. After I asked several times, my father finally said, 'Let me tell you a story. I had a dream that you married Grayson, but on a rainy night, you ran out and accidentally fell into the river. After that, I kept thinking, if only I could know your whereabouts in time, maybe I could have saved your life. So when I woke up from the dream, I decided to do this one thing.'" Dad sighed softly. "I never imagined it would actually come true. Fortunately, it's not too late." Hearing this, I burst into tears. I hadn't expected my father to have also been reborn. Seeing me cry so bitterly, Dad was startled and rushed to comfort me. After stopping my tears, I told him I had the same dream. We looked at each other. No more words were needed, we both understood that we had been reborn. I pestered my dad, asking him, "Why did you get reborn? And Grayson, he was reborn too, what exactly happened?" Dad was reluctant to speak. Only after I wheedled him did he slowly begin to explain. It turned out that after learning of my death, Dad had killed Grayson. Then my father also jumped into the river to end his life. My father killed Grayson for my sake. Wah! I cried uncontrollably. Father wiped away his tears. "You're all I have left. Nothing can happen to you." I nodded heavily. "Nothing will ever happen again. I know the truth, and I know Grayson is still lying to me. He claims he'd die for me, when in reality it was my father who killed him." Dad also said that after he was reborn, he added fuel to the fire, accelerating the bankruptcy of the Grayson family. So that's how it was. No wonder the Grayson family's bankruptcy happened faster than in the previous life. Grayson was sentenced to 6 years, and shortly after he went in, his family went completely bankrupt. When he gets out, he'll find life outside even harder. 6 years later, Grayson is released. He also takes on the burden of repaying debts, but with a criminal record, he can't find a decent job. But his appearance had gained a melancholic quality over these 6 years. Because of his striking looks, the 5-star restaurant he used to frequent made an exception and hired him. At the gathering, Grayson appeared carrying dishes. Everyone was stunned. Grayson obviously saw me too, instantly averting his gaze. "Please enjoy," he said while quickly stepping back. "Hold it right there." Well, if it isn't Grayson? Shouldn't you be rotting in prison? How'd you get out? Won't we be arrested by the police later? Ha ha ha. Grayson laughed awkwardly, still not raising his head. His patience had improved. "Enjoy your meal. Don't walk away. We're the customers. Who do you think you are, giving us attitude? Go, call your manager over. I want to see how this place ended up with a troublemaker like you." Grayson didn't move, just raised his head with an apologetic smile. "Sorry everyone, I've served my time and just trying to make an honest living here. Hope you'll all go easy on me." "Sure, going easy's no problem. We're all old friends here, isn't it wrong of you to pretend you don't know us?" Grayson admitted his mistake, repeatedly apologizing. Then, to make amends, he downed drink after drink. One glass after another. I watched coldly. He must be filled with regret now. Why hadn't he made genuine friends earlier? All his companions were fair-weather friends who abandoned him the moment trouble came. He must deeply regret why he hadn't treated others kindly before. Why had he bossed people around just because of that stinking money? Fortune is fickle, what goes around comes around. The wheel of fate has finally made him taste bitterness. In Grayson's heart, his greatest regret was betraying Olivia's love. He was wrong, profoundly wrong. The more he drank, the clearer his mind became. He remembered now, in his youth, he had once been smitten with Olivia. Back then, he hadn't known how to express his affection, so he deliberately bullied her. How had things ended up like this? Now he remembered. Ever since that illegitimate daughter Chloe appeared, everything had changed. During their school years, just a few words could twist a rebellious young boy's heart and alter its affection. Chloe said Olivia was disgusting for picking up toilet paper from the trash when there wasn't enough. Grayson didn't believe it. But he couldn't resist the taunts and disgust from the rich kids around him. To fit in, he reluctantly went along and said things he didn't mean. By the end, even he was convinced. It was all Chloe's doing in the first place. Grayson drank glass after glass until he couldn't stand, collapsing to the ground. It took him a long while to recover. The guys who had been forcing drinks hurriedly called the waiters to drag Grayson away. The atmosphere at the scene became awkward for a moment. Some of them glanced at me, but none dared to look directly. I knew they actually wanted to tease me too, they just didn't have the nerve. Everyone carries their own measure of judgment in their hearts, one that always tips toward the strong. I couldn't be bothered with them either, chatting gossip and enjoying the meal with Natalie instead. These are all young masters and misses from influential circles, who knows which of them might rise to power someday. Better prepare for rainy days early. After all, who can stay at the top forever? After the meal, everyone went their separate ways. Some people made plans for the next stop, but Natalie and I decided to call it a night. At the hotel entrance, Grayson was waiting for me. Like a stray dog, he circled around me, begging and pleading. I wasn't going to help him. I didn't even give him a glance. He tried to hail a taxi, but the hotel manager kicked him, sending him tumbling to the ground. Already drunk, he just lay there and refused to get up. The manager told him to get up, but he wouldn't. Furious, the manager yelled, "I gave you a chance, but you're useless. Get the hell out of here now." Grayson, utterly drunk, slurred his words as he cursed, "Who the hell are you? Believe me, I'll fire you." The manager completely lost his patience and had someone drag Grayson away, tossing him into the restroom and dousing him with a bucket of cold water. Grayson jolted awake in a panic, hastily apologizing. But it was no use. Defeated, he stumbled back home. Only then did he notice someone tied up in the room. It was actually Chloe. As merely an illegitimate daughter, Chloe held no status. With the bankruptcy of the Grayson family, she was also abandoned by her own family. She didn't want to stay with Grayson. But you can run for a while, not forever. Harold spotted her and dragged her back. Filled with resentment, Grayson walked over and slapped Chloe hard across the face. Chloe's mascara and eyeliner smeared together, streaming down in black streaks. "Don't hit me, please don't hit me, I beg you. I have money, I have designer bags, I'll give you everything." Grayson sold all of Chloe's bags, most of which he had bought for her. He took away her ID card, leaving her penniless and unable to leave. Chloe was also forced to make money for Grayson. During the day, she livestreamed suggestive dances at home, and at night, she worked as a promoter selling alcohol at bars. Chloe had always prioritized skincare and maintaining her figure, never slacking off even during those 6 years. She dreamed of marrying a wealthy man, but in the end, she ended up with Harold. After work, she had to share a bed with Harold, enduring the smell of old age. Chloe believed that as long as she persevered, brighter days would eventually come. Yet she found there would never be daylight. She hated it to the core. But every time she made even the slightest fuss, Harold and Grayson would gang up on her with a double whammy. Beaten into submission, she was finally cowed into docility. When Chloe became pregnant, her maternal instincts were awakened, and she no longer thought of ending her life. She decided to keep the child. She was gambling. Betting that this child might be her ticket out of misery. But what followed was even greater suffering. Carrying her wailing child, she passed by a hotel where a wedding ceremony was taking place for a new couple. She thought to herself, she had never even been married, how could things end up like this? If only she had treated Olivia better. In her youth, she couldn't understand why Olivia was so fortunate. Why did Grayson fancy her? Why was she just an illegitimate child? She refused to accept it. She deserved to marry the best. As a teenager, she began spreading rumors. If only Grayson would despise Olivia, then he would like her instead. If only, but alas, there were no ifs. One winter was exceptionally cold. The temperature outside was in the teens Celsius. The news reported a tragic incident. A family of 4 had died from carbon monoxide poisoning. It was his retribution. As for me, I felt completely unburdened, with nothing but happiness ahead.